Building and in accordance to the European Framework on Climate Change Adaptation, the DesirMED project aims to strengthen the knowledge and the capabilities of the Mediterranean regions to take the leadership and the ownership of the climate change adaptation process. With the mantra that people lies at the center of the transformative climate change adaptation process, the DesirMED project aims to reshape the Mediterranean adaptation landscape in a way that the region can be more resilient to future climate-related impacts. So the transformative adaptation journey is a way to rethink on how we are able to adapt to climate change. So regions are not only coping with the extreme and the severe impact of climate change, but they are really transforming their way to adapt, integrating new and innovative, I would say transformative solutions to face the challenges posed by climate change.
Well, so from my point of view, the first step will be to work on the risk and vulnerability analysis. It's very important to develop it very thoroughly, using as much scientific data as possible.
Having a vision is crucial for a transformative adaptation because it helps putting together all actors and making them willing to participate in the adaptation actions. And the vision is important because it makes them recognize that there might be a positive effect of addressing the climate risks and climate vulnerabilities, and have a good and positive image of what they want to achieve together.
So nature-based solutions are the solutions that imitate the natural processes, and they are extremely important in terms of climate change impacts because they introduce another alternative way of thinking which give us a new perspective in terms of the conventional hard engineering that we have up to date. So nature-based solutions are the appropriate way to mitigate the impact of climate change, especially in the urban environment, in the cases of agricultural water saving, and also in the case of coastal erosion impacts of climate change.
For us, in the Work Package 3, we have an approach, a systemic approach to scalability. So we need to rely on a number of pillars. First of all, in the technical pillar, so we need to find a way to upscale, replicate all the, let's say, the technological part and the innovative part of the actions that have been implemented. A second pillar definitely is financial. So financing is one of the things that we need to work with the other work packages, how to upscale in terms of deployment of these nature-based solutions and the resources that are needed. The third pillar is the governance, so governance schemes and how to really collaborate between all the stakeholders, all the stakeholders involved in the region, and policies for sure, because the upscaling implies also working at the policy landscape and the request for new regulations and so on. And we thought also about this transversal pillar, which is innovation, data, monitoring, processing of information to really have a long-term strategy and view.
Well, we would like to ensure in DesirMED the long-term impacts of what has been learned in this project, and this can be only achieved if we work during the project on several aspects that can ensure longevity even after the project ends. The first aspect is sort of capacity building. The communities need to have the ownership to work on NBS and also to ensure that this NBS will be also implemented after the project ends. This is why they need to have the appropriate knowledge, skills. So as I said, there will be a lot of capacity building done in the project, and especially the exchange of information between all the regions. The other important aspect is, of course, financing, because when the project ends, also the financing ends. And that's why they need to ensure to have let's say long-term financial plans on how to integrate NBS into already existing funding streams, for example funding for climate adaptation or some kind of different developmental strategy, and also to ensure the public-private partnership. And finally, what I think is really important for a long-term effect of the project's findings is to develop a monitoring framework of how NBS is implemented, because only with such continuous framework we can reflect on whether the nature-based solutions work and whether we need to try to improve something if it's not working well.
For the risk profiling, so we identify several challenges. The first one is data risk, data poor condition, because from the metadata collection, so we identify some regions, they have a lot of data, while the other regions, they have like very few data. So that's why we propose different approach for different regions according to the data availability. So we propose from the simple indicator-based approach to the probability model like Bayesian network, to the most complicated one is the machine learning model such as random forest and graph neural network. The second challenge is about the terminologies, because the concept of risk and each component like exposure, hazard, vulnerability and responses are understood differently among regions and different people. So that's why for the DesirMED project we follow the definition of IPCC. Both the terminology and also the framework. And last but not least is about let's say the implementation of the framework, because region have limitation in capacity, also technical skill. So that's why each region, each demo region will be followed by one or at least one scientific partners. And then workshop and seminar will be organized to have like exchange with the replicating regions.
Well, in the project and in the mission of the European approach, we work with this transformative change concept, and to really arrive to transformative change, it is important to include all domains of society. So we make a distinction between the domains of the public sector, of the private sector, of the knowledge sector, knowledge partners, and also of civil society. And each of those domains and the people or organizations who are working within those domains can contribute in their own manner to this transformative change, and we need all those contributions. So the public sector can make arrangements within society with their works and with their decision making and their policies, for example. The knowledge partners can contribute with their knowledge and with their insights and with their research activities. Yeah, what you see now is that research is not very well connected with the processes within regions. Often it's more from a distance, and what I believe strongly in this concept of more transdisciplinary research. So that means that the research as a process, the researchers themselves should be better connected with society, and to look for finding answers together for the problems we are facing within the Mediterranean regarding this climate change, and the transitions and the transformations which we are looking for. So that means that we need to combine the different disciplines of science and of the academics, but also to bring it together with the regional partner networks.
Well, try to measure the benefits in NBS project action. It is really quite difficult because from the in some way, the starting point of the project seems that we need to have a holistic view, and it is not to measure, because it depends of so many factors that we need to address, such as social, ecological, economical, and of course with engagement with the stakeholders. So measure the benefits are really a difficult task to, and it is obviously that it is very important for the project. Well, since DesirMED project has demonstrative regions as well as replicated regions, I think these are a quite interesting pilot project. In this way, it is important to develop business models in an innovative way, combining technological approaches with social, economical and environment approaches. So this holistic view, I think, will come up from the DesirMED project, and it will be a very important output.
Climate change is affecting every region, it's accelerating their impacts, and it's similar to all regions. So we need to adapt as soon as possible, learning from each other, learning about how they have faced their challenges, not only in aspects of solutions, but also about regulation, financing, people engagement. So that's why it's important, this dialogue. Well, first thing is to listen to the regions. In DesirMED, we are understanding which are the challenges, which are their needs and their gaps on capacity building, and then to know what others have already done. And then we will create these forums to learn from each other, to share experiences and being able to ask about how they have tackled. But we have also site visits. As today, we are in the middle of Valencian region learning about fire prevention. So combining on-site and online experiences.
Throughout our communication and dissemination activities in DesirMED, we would like more people to hear about our project, our activities, and to be inspired by our vision. That's why we have developed a communication and dissemination plan that includes different tools, tailored messages to be sent to different stakeholders, including social media campaigns, videos, policy briefs, podcasts, and even comics to engage different stakeholders. For example, we have recently released our first policy brief of the project, focused on transformative governance, and we plan to disseminate this to advocate our messages to policymakers and to promote transformative governance. Another aspect that is important for us is community engagement, that we think is very vital for implementing nature-based solutions. That's why we have the plan to engage some climate ambassadors, as we call them. It's a network of over 100 people that will share their stories, will share with us the small or bigger actions they do to promote climate resilience. We call these stories adaptation diaries, and we will soon share it with you. Another way to reach wider audiences and specifically focus on youth are adaptation festivals and climathons that are hackathons focused on innovative ideas for climate resilience. We try always to network with bigger initiatives, so we are very happy to be part of a cluster of 7 projects working under the same topic. This is the NBS4EU cluster, where we meet with our sister projects working under the same topic of the Horizon mission for EU adaptation. And we exchange our activities, our vision, and collaborate in joint events and activities. We invite you to join DesirMED and to stay tuned for our future activities, join our movement, and be part of our big community.